Good morning. This is B.Ed first year. C2 Contemporary India and Education. The first unit, we should know the levels of education in Indian system of education. Here, there are many levels of education, but which represent a broad section of education ladder, that is the progression from elementary to more complicated learning experience, embracing all the fields and programs. And the education in India follows a uniform structure of school education, which is known as a 10th and plus 2 system. The educational stages can be divided into many stages. That is the pre-primary stage, primary stage, secondary stage, senior secondary stage, higher secondary stage, undergraduate stage, postgraduate stage, distance learning, correspondence course, and open system. These are the different levels of stages of education in India. The first one, pre-primary stage. This is the first stage of education. Pre-primary education in India is provided the children between 3 to 6 years. And these schools have a varying terminology for different levels of classes, beginning from pre-nursery, nursery, KG, LKG and UKG. Most of the pre-primary education in India is provided by the private schools. Pre-primary education helps the children become more independent and confident, as well as promote all-round development of other children. Next one, primary stage. The next stage after the pre-primary school is that the primary stage. Primary education in India is offered by both private and government schools. Usually consist of the students age between 5 to 12 years. It is also termed as the elementary education. It is free in government schools, but it is paid in the private schools. The government has made the elementary education compulsory for all the children. Most of the primary education provided by primary schools in India is imparted from classes 1st to class 4th or 5th standard. The importance of primary education is recognized as it lays the foundation for lifelong learning. The next stage is middle stage. Middle stage of education covering 3 to 4 years of academic study is formed by the 5th standard to 8th standard. Students age group between 12 to 14 years. And the schools which impart the education up till 8th standard. And here many union territories and states also gives the middle classes. Next one, secondary stage. Secondary stage of education covering 2 to 3 years of academic study starts with the classes 8th standard to 10th standard. Students age group between 14 to 16 years. The schools which impart education up 10th class are known as secondary schools and high schools. The school gives the social skills and interpersonal skills also developed during this phase of education. The next stage, senior secondary stage. Senior secondary education in India is only 2 years. There is uniformity on the levels of education in terms of duration and classes of all the states and union territories. Senior secondary schools in India include the classes 11th and 12th standard. Students age between 16 to 18 years. At this level of education, students have the freedom to choose their preferred stream and subjects. The schools which provide the education up till 12th standard are commonly known as the secondary schools or higher secondary schools. Next one, undergraduate stage. Undergraduate education in India is of 3 to 4 years. Undergraduate stage of education is also known as higher education. Majority of the undergraduate courses of 3 years duration belong to the fields of arts, humanities, science, and a majority of 4 years of duration belong to the field of agriculture, engineering, pharmaceutical sciences. However, there are other courses belonging to the fields of architecture, law, and medicine whose duration is 5 years. Next stage, postgraduate stage. We know that postgraduate PG in Indian system is 2 to 3 years. Postgraduate stages of courses are known as master's course. Master's course are usually of 2 years duration. Doctorate course, that is the research, is duration of 3 years. PG education caters largely to a specific field or subfield of any preferred discipline. And distance learning, distance education, also known as distance learning, is the medium of learning without attending the regular classrooms. During the distance learning, candidates go through online lectures or virtual classes. Distance education is a process to create and provide the access to learning when the sources of information and the learners are separated by the time and distance or both. Nowadays, distance learning system is becoming more popular in India and all around the world. Distance education provided by the institutes is controlled by the Distance Education Council of India, that is DECI. Distance education is helpful to those who cannot join the regular schools or colleges. Next one, correspondence learning or the open system of education. Correspondence learning organized the structured correspondence schools and several books, and the candidates gives the correspondence learning. And open system, it is the non-formal education system which have drifted much further apart from the features of formal education, and it is gives the flexibility and autonomy of the students' recoveries. These a study of programs is choice of the students' particular authorities. And during COVID-19 period, many students from all around the world had to study from the open system of education. However, this was mostly implemented in the form of distance education rather than the traditional home schooling. And open system also gives the home schooling education. Home education is the education of school aged children at home or a variety of places other than the school, usually conducted by a parent, a tutor, or an online teacher.